4 separate shootings across 3 southern states in just the past 6 weeks, and that includes 2 in Tennessee. And officials blame lone gunmen for all of them.
WDEF News Host James Mahon questions how much of a role does mental health play in these violent attacks. He's live in the studio with our top local story. James?
John, Amy, thank you. Depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, history of mental illness are the reasons offered up for John Hauser, Muhammad Abdulaziz, Dylan Roof and Vincent Montano, striking fear into communities across Tennessee, the Carolinas and Louisiana. However, Chattanoogan's feel being labelled crazy is not the only factor.
There's a saying that genetics loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger.
UTC's Dr. Elizabeth O'Brien believes mental health is a major contributor to the shootings that took more than a dozen lives in Chattanooga, Nashville, Louisiana and South Carolina since the start of the summer.
You know, a quarter of the population in the United States has depressive symptoms, a quarter. So when you think about that, there are a lot of people that have mental health issues that may or may not be receiving treatment. And again, those people aren't necessarily violent.
All 4 shooters had some ties to prescription medications, which Mark Tomlinson believes are the cause of violent behavior.
I believe that it's the government and the FDA pushing things forward that don't need to be pushed.
Tomlinson, a proud gun owner, claims while all 4 men carried some form of weapon, guns are not the problem.
That open carry and arming civilians, I think that's probably a better way of doing things. And I actually have talked to a police officer who saw me carrying, and he said with more civilians like you, it would make our job a lot easier.
Cleveland resident Katie Quinn disagrees, believing guns to be a huge part of the problem, but adds technology is also playing a role.
The internet and cell phones and things at our fingertips allow us to get farther and farther away from the community that people need to physically be in the same room and have those conversations rather than texting and calling. It's fun, but it needs to be, you need to get together with people.
Her views on open communication and societal pressures are echoed by Georgia native Kathy Riddle.
I don't want to say it's bad parenting because I'm not necessarily the best parent in the world, but I did always take time to talk to my children, and if they were having issues, I would sit down and talk to them. If they were sad, I would find out why.